Top of the morning, good afternoon, and hello, and welcome to all the wonderful coaches out there. The Celtic Coach, or should I say Dermot B, also known as the Celtic Coach. All right, we have got a great inspirational talk for you today. You can do it. 3 steps to create all the clients that you want. Now, most coaches, when they're thinking about creating a coaching practice, prosperous coaching business, they think about, okay, how am I going to sell coaching to people? How am I going to tell people about coaching? How am I going to get my target audience? How am I going to hunt high and low for unsuspecting clients? Right? I went through this, and all the coaches that I know in all my Club Fearless, the Art and Science of Business Building, they all do the same thing: sell, 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 sell. Now, here's the interesting thing: selling doesn't work for building a coaching practice. In the same way that you wouldn't teach a goldfish to ride a bicycle. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to sell coaching. Why? Because it's a heart-based industry. It's not a head-based selling industry. It's not a marketing industry. It's not a get you, funnel clients. It's connection. It's conversation. It's sitting down with another human being and saying, hey, what's going on? What's the problem? Let me ask you some questions you've never asked yourselves before, and we'll go from there. So it's a connection business. It's a conversational business. It's a how can I help business, not what can I get business. I know that might be new news for you, but that is the truth. I promise you. Now, most coaches, when they start off new, and we'll get to the 3 steps, don't worry, but we're going to talk a little bit about what's the problem here. Most coaches, they think when they come to me for coaching, or they come to Club Fearless for coaching, they think, Dermot, how can I struggle through this? How can I sweat turnips and get through this and push myself through this and motivate myself, Dermot? Can you motivate me, Dermot? And I always say, look, if you need to be motivated to create a business, if you need to be motivated to go out and help people, you may be in the wrong business, or you've got so much fearful thinking about this that it's really starting to slow you down. Now, here's the fascinating thing. Grab your tees or your ankles or an apple, whatever you like, whatever you enjoy. You don't need to struggle your way to success. You don't need to struggle your way to success. Most coaches are trying to create clients, and they're doing it with should. And let me check Google to see what Google says. Oh, let me talk to all my coaches who are not making any money, and they can tell me how to build a successful coaching practice. But here's the thing. One of the things that I teach in my programs is the law of attraction. Now, most coaches try to create clients with should action, with motivated action. Let me motivate myself. Let me should myself let me push myself. Let me challenge myself to get into action. That doesn't work, because creating clients at its essence is an emotional journey. It's a feeling. Don't believe me? Ask yourself, if you had 100 clients, what would be the feeling you would have? If you were a successful coach, what's the feeling you're looking for? We do everything for feelings. Feelings. Oh, the feelings. You know that old song from the 80s? We do everything for a feeling. Bring back the 80s. That's what I always say. And creating clients is an emotional journey. It's a feeling destination. It's a feeling journey. So I'm going to encourage you to start. One of the things that I teach is that don't look to get clients from action, although action is part of the journey. Look for the emotion first. The law of attraction says that what you focus on expands. What you put your attention on grows. That which is likened is drawn. So all of us are looking for a feeling. When coaches are wanting to create new clients, we're looking for a feeling. We're looking for the feeling of joy, success, confidence, courage, wealth, financial abundance, freedom. That's the kinds of feelings we're looking for. So if you start to look less on getting clients with all the action and push, 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 and you start to look for the feeling, which is what you're going for anyway, and you put the feeling ahead of the action. So you go to the feeling first and you practice the feeling first. What do I mean? Really simple. Really, really simple. Sit down in the morning. Best time to do this is in the morning when you wake up. 30 minutes, called the somnambulistic state. It's when the subconscious is open to suggestion. It's like the hypnotic state, same thing. 30 minutes in the morning when you first wake up, and the last 30 minutes before you go to sleep at night. Somnambulistic state or subconscious awareness or opening. And simply put your hand on your heart, dominant hand, scientifically proven to make you feel better. And ask yourself, what's the feeling I'm looking for? I'm wanting to create new clients. And let's say I had all the clients that I wanted. What's the feeling? And it's usually love, security, joy, peace, financial abundance, happiness. You know, it's something like that. Freedom is a big one for coaches. Something that I teach the coaches to do every morning and evening. Just put a little bit of attention, 1 minute, 2 minutes, on just the feeling of having all the clients that you want. Don't focus on getting the clients. Focus on the feeling of having them already. That's powerful. See, you can create your business, your coaching practice, from motivated action, should action, or you can create it from inspired action, inspirate, inspiration, the spirit from within. That's what it means. I teach in Club Fearless how to create clients from creativity, service, and doing what makes your heart sing, which is what we're going to get to in a minute here with the 3 steps. So you can do it from inspired action, which I highly recommend, or you can do it from should action. Inspired action is simple. What would be inspiring for you to create in your business today? If you were to live just for an hour from inspiration, what would you love? What would you be inspired to create? Who would you be inspired to reach out to offer coaching? Now, you can create your coaching practice. And by the way, this is life in general. It's the same thing. I got a program coming up called the Better Life Workshop. There's information below. And we're going to look at creative thinking versus obsessive thinking. We're going to look at simple living instead of confused living. And we're also going to look at how do you create a life from inspired action instead of should action. So when you're looking at your business, play with the idea, hey, I'm going to create from creativity or creative thinking today, not from obsessive thinking. Where am I going to get clients? How do I get clients? Doesn't work. I had a coach in last week that I was coaching. And the first question, and every coach asks me this, I asked my coach, Steve Chandler, this question for years. How do I get clients? And Steve said, Dermot, that's a terrible question. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, I've just paid this guy a hell of a lot of money, more money than I have ever paid anyone. And he's telling me that how do I get clients is a bad question. Let's just say after my tongue hit the ground and my heart fell on the floor, I picked up my heart, put it back in my pocket, rolled up my tongue, and I said, Steve, what do you mean it's a bad question? He said, a better question is, who can you serve? Who can you help? Which is going to be one of our steps in just a moment. See, that's creativity. How would you creatively love to create your clients? And I talked to the client and I said, look, this coach, I said, forget that question. How do I get clients? Your emotional brain, when it hears, how do I get clients, plural, your emotional brain has a brain fart and thinks, oh, this is not going to be good. I can't do that. Clients? How do I get clients? I don't know. And so it's a tough question on the emotional brain. How is the creative killer, right? But is there one person? Who's one person that I could help? How could I get creative? Now, you can ask yourself a service question or a selling question. How am I getting a client? That's a selling question. How do I hunt for a target audience? That's a selling question. How do I get you? That's a selling question. Serving question. Who can I serve? Who needs help? Who's suffering right now that needs help? Who do I know needs support? If I was to offer somebody a 60-minute coaching session, would it be helpful? How would it be helpful? Service versus selling, creative thinking versus obsessive thinking, inspired action versus should action. All right. Let's get to the questions. 3 steps. Really, really simple, coaches. Coaches make this, and I did too. I spent 4 years making this really, really difficult, really, really confusing. And as a result, I didn't have any results. I made less than $2,000 a year in my first 3 years of coaching. It wasn't until I hired a coach and I got into a program where other coaches were learning how to build their business, actually learning how to build their business. Because that's the number one mistake that coaches make. They try to do it themselves. They coach their family and friends. They give, and then they give up. And no more coaching. And it doesn't have to be that way. This is the most incredible profession on the planet. It's the most honorable, integrity-filled profession on the planet. But you alone can do it, but you can't do it alone. But you can do this. There's no question about it, coaches. I have seen many, many coaches that I've trained over the years do it. 6-figure coaches, even a couple of 7-figure coaches in there. It's really simple. You do it through service. You do it through creativity. You do it through doing things that make your heart sing. That's the way to build a business. That's the way to do it. All right, let's get to the 3 steps, because this is really important stuff. First step 1, sit down, have a cup of tea, maybe a biscuit. Chocolate is always better. Who can I serve? Forget the question, how do I get clients? The emotional brain doesn't know. Who can I serve? We all know someone who's suffering. We all know one person. There's 7 billion on the planet suffering right now, but we all know 1 out of 7 billion. 1 out of 7 billion. I think I know 5 or 6, Dermot, out of 7 billion. Wonderful. Start there. Who can I serve? Who can I help? Step 1. Step 2. Now comes the how question after the who question. How will I connect with this person? Will I send them an email and say, hey, I know you're struggling. I'm a coach in training. I'm a professional coach. That's what I do. I help people who are struggling. Would you like to come and have a 60-minute chat with me? There's no charge for the 60 minutes. It's how I give people an experience of what I do. And if you're interested in doing some coaching, we can certainly look at putting some sessions together that you could afford. So step 1, who can I serve? Who out there is suffering? Step 2, how will I connect and invite that person to a session? Email, smoke signal, a pigeon with a note on the leg, a text, a phone call. I like phone calls. I encourage all the coaches in my program to call people, call them up and say, hey, John, I was thinking about you today. I know you're struggling. I'm finished my coaching now. I'm wanting to be a professional coach. We'll do some practicing. That's why they call it coaching practice, by the way. You get to practice on people. Don't tell them that, though. And charge for it. Make sure you charge, coaches. Step 3, give people an experience of coaching. Really give them an experience of coaching. How do I do that, Dermot? You sit down and you do 2 things. As coaches, we only do 2 things well. What are they, Dermot? Well, I'm going to tell you now. We listen like nobody has listened to that person before. It's not forced listening. It's not level 25 listening. It's not Tony Robbins listening. It's relaxed, easy listening. You can do that, right? Yeah, you can do that. I told you, you can do this, right? And we ask questions. We ask them questions they've never asked themselves before. What would you love to create that you don't have? What's your heart saying yes to that your head's saying no to? What's the thing you're most afraid of but would love to have before you leave this planet? What's the thing that makes your heart sing but you're too afraid to look at, talk about, to step into, to create, to take action on? What parts of your life would you like to make better? What parts of your life would you love to see improvement on? That's what we want to do. Because when you know what you don't want, coaches, when your client knows what they don't want, then they know then you can have a conversation about what they do want. Really powerful stuff. Who can I serve or help? How will I connect and invite that person? And then give them an experience. Ask them a few questions they've never asked themselves before. And go from there. That's the key to this whole thing. Be light about this whole thing. I tell the coaches all the time, this is not meant to be difficult. It's not meant to be tough. Building a business, creating a coaching practice, having freedom and time to do and money, whatever you want to do, be, do, and have whatever you want. It can be fun. It can be light. It can be joyful. It can be creative. It can be possibilities ridden. It can be an adventure. Be light about all this, coaches. It's not serious stuff. I'm telling you, here's the key to the whole thing. The lighter you are about business building, the quicker you'll create clients. The more easy you are about creating clients and making money at coaching, the quicker the clients will come. That's how it works. I know that's how it works. You don't have to struggle your way to success. It's an emotional journey. So practice that emotion. Hey, if I had all the clients that I want, what would that feel like? What would that look like? That's the key to it. All right. Until the next time, think big, have fun, stay curious. This is the Celtic Coach, Club Fearless for Coaches, and we'll talk to you soon. Cheers.